Hey coach, how do I keep my legs stronger and functional as I get older? Hi everybody, my name is David Younkins. I'm a health coach here at PartnerMD in Richmond, Virginia. Thanks for being here today. I'm going to talk to you a little bit about leg strengthening exercises. Here at PartnerMD, we coaches often get the question, how do I strengthen my legs? I'm doing a lot of yard work, I'm walking, is that enough? Well, unfortunately, as we get older, it's really important to provide an overload to the legs, which is kind of a little more intense of a workout. So it could involve some strengthening like machines or weights, but a lot of patients want to be able to exercise at home in their home environment, or maybe they have a lack of mobility getting out of their house. As we get older, it's also important to prevent falls. One of the leading causes of death as we get older is after a fall. Sometimes the bone itself actually can fracture. And so strengthening of the legs is really important, not only for muscular health, but also for bone density and bone health as well. So I'd like to take you through a few strengthening exercises that you can do at home, just using simple objects like a chair or a couch or a wall, and some ways to start building muscle today without having to join a gym. All right, so let's start at the most basic level. Let's say you have some mobility issues, you maybe have a difficult time getting out of a chair. Well, you can start with something as simple as basic isometrics. Isometrics are basically a strengthen or a contraction of the muscle without a change in length. So you're not really moving as much as you are just contracting a muscle. And some of the research is now showing that our muscles actually release these helpful chemicals called myokines that go around and start helping out skin, gut health, all kinds of cool things. And so it's really anti-inflammatory as well as strengthening to do some isometric exercises. So one way you can start off with isometrics is to strengthen that quadricep muscle on the top of your thigh. That one's really helpful for getting us out of chairs. And the way you can do that is like so. You can just simply press your upper thigh into your chair, straighten your knee as straight as you can, and hold that as tight as you can, really tightening that thigh muscle for about 5 seconds. Now while you're doing these, you want to be sure that you're breathing. You don't want to mobilize your blood flow and raise your blood pressure too much. So exhale as you're holding that 5-second hold, and then come back down. That's one. The goal is to start with at least 6 of these. I would try to shoot for 10 in a row if you can. Give yourself a couple seconds rest in between, do another 5 seconds, and come down. Cool thing is with isometrics is it's a little limited in where you get stronger. You only get stronger in this range of motion, unfortunately. But you get stronger about 15 degrees in either direction, which is kind of cool. You get a little bit of that carryover into the full range of motion. Another option you can do is to build the hip muscles as well. And this is relatively simple to do. If you want to get your outer hip muscles, you can use your own hands as well as resistance and press gently out into those hands using your thighs. And so you should feel some strengthening in those outer hip muscles, piriformis, glute muscles, things like that. Again, same 5-second hold while breathing and relax. And the final option while you're sitting you can do is inner thigh too. This inner thigh adductor muscles also help extend our hip and are important for core stability too. So hands on the inside this time, gently pressing inwards for 5 seconds, 4, 3, 2, 1, and relax, okay? And really it's up to you as hard as you want to push this. I mean, you can increase the contraction as you get more comfortable with it. I would start off nice and gentle, see how you feel the next day. And then as you're getting used to it, you can push harder, just subjectively contracting that muscle as hard as you can. One final way to strengthen your legs while you're seated is called a heel raise. And this is for those calf and soleus muscles on the back of your lower legs. These are important for stepping off of curbs or jumping or climbing stairs, those types of things. So the way this exercise looks is if I'm sitting feet about shoulder width apart, the goal of this exercise is to raise those heels up as high as you can, keeping the ball of your foot on the floor and just pressing that ball of the foot into the floor as you bring your heels up as high as possible. You should feel a contraction in the back of those calf muscles. Again, holding for about 5 seconds. Easing it back down again. That's a great exercise for building lower leg muscle as well as the upper leg muscle that we already covered. So we've done some seated exercises that can help get you started. Let's talk about some more functional exercises that help get you ready for life as well as building muscle. One of those famous quotes out there, I think it's from a Russian strength athlete. He says, "Strength is a skill. Our goal is to build the skill of getting out of a chair. And also, while you're at it, you'll get to build some muscle around those important hips and lower leg muscle areas." So let me show you an exercise called the chair squat. So the way you can start, let's say some people have some difficulty getting out of the chair in the first place, right? That's why we have hand grips. If you're starting from a seated position, doing the chair squat, you can use your hands on the way up to drive you out of the chair, but we're a lot stronger on the way down than we are on the way up. So on the way down, try not to use your hands and try to control it down as slowly as you can. I always tell patients to try to imagine you're working out underwater. You're moving very slowly and controlled. If you try to do things too quickly, you can get an injury or a fall. So take your time. On the way up, use your hands. On the way down, don't use your hands. Slow motion, okay? And that will build just some strength in those thighs, hips, lower leg muscles in such a way as to get you out of that chair more effectively. Now, once you feel like you've reached the point that you can do the up motion as well, you can reach your arms out forward, stay nice and tall, drive through those heels, and stand up. Feet are about shoulder width apart, and as you're sitting back, you want to kind of bend at the hip and sit back onto those hips. Lightly touch the chair, come back up again. And the goal again is about 10 repetitions for 3 sets if you can do 3. I would start with 1 set, see how you feel, and then build up to more sets as you get used to it. These are nice because you can do these on a commercial break, or if you're just relaxing for a few minutes, just knock out a few chair sits and you're done. So in the interest of talking about strength as a skill that we're trying to build, as well as build muscle while we're at it, one of the important foot positions, important movements we have in life is called a lunge, or really you can think of it like a deceleration. You're trying to slow yourself down, whether it's stepping off a curb, going down stairs. It doesn't have to be this fancy gym exercise where you're going all the way down to the ground. It can just be practicing that step. And so one way you can do that is, again, your trusty chair. But the way we would start this exercise is to have that stable object at hand to start with. You'll take a big step forward, maybe about 2 to 3 paces worth of a step. Put some weight on that front leg and shift back, okay? You actually want to kind of explode back a little bit if you can, so or at least think about pushing back a little bit harder. So you're coming down, you're slowing yourself down. This back leg is almost straight. We're not too worried about that leg just yet. We're really focused on that front leg, slowing yourself down and pushing back. As you get more comfortable with these, try without the hand or float your hand and just have it there if you need it, okay? You can use that chair. And then when you feel really confident, take the hands away and just really take a big step and focus on exploding back. So this allows you to build that skill of slowing yourself down and not having a fall, as well as strengthening those important quad muscles and glute muscles. Okay, we're on to our most advanced exercise now, which is a one-legged exercise. Now from here, the way this works is it's called a one-leg balance reach. And again, I would encourage you to use a chair or another stable object nearby as you get used to these. I'm going to be standing on, in this case, my left foot with a slight bend in that knee, just so you're not locking that knee totally out. It's just a soft bend. And then from here, what I'll do is I will reach forward as far as I can reach, imagining I'm trying to hit a target way in front of me. I want you to imagine that the floor out there is lava. You're not going to rest your foot for very long, okay? You're just going to tap it and bring it back, okay? So you're moving forward. I'm bending this bottom knee. By default, I have to, because I'm reaching forward. That knee is getting some work here. That quadricep is working right there. I tap the floor and I come back, okay? That's a forward reach. A side reach, going straight to the side as far as you can. You might have to lean a little bit in the opposite direction, reaching out as far as you can. Now I'm really working those inner thigh and abductor muscles on the outside of the hip and adductor muscles on the inside of the hip. And coming back in. Again, hot floor, come back, okay? The last one is a posterior reach. So think about 12 o'clock, 3 o'clock, 6 o'clock. Now I'm going to 6 o'clock. I'm reaching back as far as I can reach. You gotta lean forward a little bit. I'm really putting weight on that glute on the left side. Reach way, way back, hot floor, come back up. That's a final, pretty advanced exercise, but it's one you can work up to, from the isometrics to the chair squat to the stagger step, and then finally to the one-legged balance reach. Thanks for watching today. I hope you enjoyed these exercises that will help you strengthen those legs and stay strong and functional as you age. If you enjoyed this content, feel free to like and subscribe. And if you have any questions, feel free to drop a comment below. We hope you'll check out PartnerMD, and thanks again for your time. Have a great day.